Hello, all my JavaScript friends. This is TheVirtuoid, aka Mike Smith, and this is our jigsaw puzzle tutorial, the piece object. Now, last time we took a look at the table object. This time we're going to be taking a look at the piece object. The table object is responsible for creating the pieces and placing them on the table. The piece object itself is just responsible for just being there, for lack of a better term. Let's take a quick look at it. Not a whole heck of a lot here, but just enough. Alrighty, so the constructor is very simple. Basically what we want to take a look at is we want to do a position, an ordinal, and a table. Table is optional in this particular case. The most important thing is having the position and the ordinal available to us. Now later also we have what's called a checking available. That checking is going to be our checking point, which we covered extensively in the table one. This is going to allow us to be able to check to make sure that the pieces connect to each other. That's going to be done a little bit later on too. And of course we set IDs, we set DOMs and all that. Have a bunch of getters. You know, again, I don't have any setters here. Just like before, I don't want to do any kind of setting. I want to be able to control any kind of access to the piece, to the piece object itself. So let's see what we got here. We got a routine called move that will move the piece. We got a move relative that will move the piece relative. Move will do an absolute move. You know, if I want to move you to 200, 400, and it will move to 200, 400. Move relative will move you to saying, I want to move 1 pixel to the north and 2 pixels to the south, to the south, 2 pixels to the east, something like that. Set position is very important. The set position is in conjunction with the move. In fact, the move is what calls the set position, and that allows me to be able to say, once I have moved this, I want to set this position, and that position allows me to also do what we call the checking point. And what does this checking point do? Now, again, the checking point allows me to eliminate having to deal with all the funky ways that jigsaw puzzles can look like. If I had a square as a jigsaw puzzle piece, that's easy. But if I have the normal standard jigsaw puzzles, or if I had some of those really funky looking ones, knowing when two things are connected is a little bit difficult. So I had realized, and again, this goes back to the PowerPoint presentation, I realized that we don't really have to care about the shape of the puzzle piece. All we have to really care about is a particular static point within each piece that is always going to be a width away from another piece or a height away from another piece. And that's what this checking does here, is that as we move the piece, we also move the checking point, so that when we do, the table says, okay, I'm checking to make sure these two pieces are close to each other. It's going to check what we call the checking point. And that checking point is going to do whatever it has to do to be able to, or the table's going to use that checking point to do whatever it has to do to make the pieces connect. And we covered all that in the table one. Set parent is just real set parent. We got set DOM, that just sets the DOM. That allows the piece to be able to set the DOM, and that's a convenience factor. Technically, I'm kind of breaking ranks there, but I'm breaking the what's the term I'm looking for? I'm breaking the concerns. Separation of concerns. I'm breaking the separation of concerns by having that in there, but in this case, it's convenient. Again, I'll leave it up to you if you want to be able to really be hardcore about this and make sure it's you do the separation of concerns. Be my guest. Add child adds another piece to as a child in this thing, just to check to find out that has child. Just to check to find out if we do have a child. Has parent. Do I have a children? Has children. This basically, can you give me, or do I actually have at least one child? Get child by ordinal allows me to get a child based upon the ordinal. It just tries to find it within the array. Remove the child allows me to remove a particular child from the list here. Okay, move to is a really nice function. It honestly, I kind of named this one wrong. If I was doing this again, I'd rename it to move to as child or something like that, because the idea of here is that I want to move this particular piece to another piece, and what that does is that moves this piece to become a child of that other piece. So it kind of is a misnomer there. It really is not moving it; it's transferring. I think is the better better deal. In fact, I even call transfer children right there. So I'd probably call it transfer to piece or something like that, but it doesn't matter. Get family is a fantastic little routine here. This basically allows me to get the entire family. So if you're a child, it will get all the children plus your parent. If you're a parent, it'll get you and plus all the children, and it won't duplicate you or anything like that. So it allows you to be able to very quickly check to make sure that, oh, I got to check for this ordinal for the south, but oh, that's already a child, so I'm already connected to it, so I'm not going to check that. So get family is a really quick and easy one there. Get relative position is just a very simple routine to allow me to be able to get the relative position of a relative position based upon the position that I'm passing. Transfer is the simple one to transfer to another piece, and transfer children transfers to my children to another piece as a child or a parent. So let's go back over to the big one here, and that's move. It's really not that big, but I want to show it to you in conjunction with set position. So go back to move. We get the family because when we're moving, we're also moving not only ourselves, but anybody else in our family. We're going to get the relative position because everything's going to have to be relative based upon the position we're bringing in. And that's going to be the args is going to be the new position. Yeah, you can see new position to the args. Then we're going to take a look at each particular piece that came from pieces, and we're going to set that position. Remember, it's going to be relative, and we're going to set that position. So what that does for set position is that not only sets the position itself, but that also sets the checking position based upon the relativity, and that's extraordinarily important. We've got to make sure that checking position remains constant at all times. Then if I have a DOM, this is where the separation of concerns thing comes in. If I have a DOM, I go ahead and put the PX, PY, and place the style left and style top. In reality, I should not be doing this. I should be sending a message back up to the game to be able to send the UI to do this. But, this is one of those ones that kind of got, separation concerns kind of got out of hand there. It's one of those things I did a really good job, in my opinion, for getting everything put together, but I still made a few little things I shouldn't have done. I will leave that up to you to fix at a later point in time. But that's basically really all there is to the piece. The whole deal, the biggest deal about the piece is that when we move it, we've got to be absolutely certain that we move not only it, but all its parent and children. And that's what this whole section is all about. This whole section is all about. That allows me to get the family and move everybody together all at one time. And that's really all there is to the piece. Our next video is we're going to take a look at the cuts. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to this channel to view more videos. Click on the like button on this video and visit us at TheVirtuoid.com. Also, support us on Patreon, where you can get access to member-only videos. Links are down below. Again, thank you very much for watching, and keep on coding.